Hey guys, Hidden Azeroth here, and this week we're escaping the Magisters Terrace and exploring the Isle of Quel'Danas and the Sunwell instanced inside of a dungeon. To escape the dungeon, you're going to need a Demon Hunter. Head to the balcony after you defeat Brutalis, face this land, double jump, and tap backwards while in midair. Now turn your character 90 degrees so that your back is to the floating planter, double jump again, and cast Vengeful Retreat. From here, we can either glide down onto the Isle of Quel'Danas or into the Terrace of the Sun. We'll be exploring the Terrace of the Sun first. Demons patrol the area like in the Sunwell raid. However, they are untargetable and cannot be interacted with. Entry into previous parts of the Sunwell is blocked by Rohindar, the second gate. Don't worry, we'll be exploring these sections of the raid later in the video. Entering into the Sunwell itself, we see Marut. Like the ever demonic NPCs, he is untargetable and cannot be attacked. Entry into the final chamber is blocked by Archinosis, the third gate. However, there is still a method to get into this room, which I'll show you at the end of the video. Because the Terrace of the Sun is surrounded by high, one-way invisible walls, it's impossible to get out and explore the rest of the dungeon. However, if you log out for 5 to 10 minutes, you'll be teleported back to the start of the instance and can escape once again. In a moment, I'm going to cut back to being on top of the planter that we originally leapt from. And here we are. To explore the rest of the Isle of Quel'Danas, simply glide left or right rather than straight forward. Traveling left takes us to Greengill Coast. While there's nothing particularly out of the ordinary, a few items are rendered too high and are floating in midair. Traveling up the Dead Scar, we can see that large sections of the Sunwell Plateau are missing. Approaching the pit where you fight Brutalis, be careful not to go too far forward or you'll become stuck between a series of invisible walls. Traveling back out of the Dead Scar, we can see that only the sections of building visible from inside the Brutalis platform have been rendered. This is because the Magisters Terrace uses a copy of the instanced version of the Sunwell rather than the one that appears on the Isle of Quel'Danas. Climbing the hill to where we normally find the entrance to the Magisters Terrace, we can see that the only section of a dungeon that's been rendered so that it's visible from the outside is the balcony. This is because, in reality, the dungeon is much larger than it appears to be on the Isle of Quel'Danas, and the building extends out over the ocean. As a matter of fact, both the building where you fight Cal'Phas and the gardens in the second half of the dungeon are surrounded by false walls and hovering out over the water. Entering the Dawning Square, the most noticeable difference is that the bridge that normally leads to the entrance to the Sunwell is missing. The potted plants normally found on the bridge are still seen floating in midair. Several of the buildings in Dawnstar Village have been rendered incorrectly. This building is sunken into the ground and a shallow pool of water covers the floor. This building has been rendered too high and floats in the air, allowing you to pass underneath it. Entering the Sunwell, we sink through the floor, pass through a one-way invisible wall, and exit where the raid normally starts. This section of the raid is missing all NPCs, but decorations like lamps and benches are still present. We're now entering the Brutalis Pit on the other side of the invisible walls that we saw earlier. While the normal path to the rest of the raid is blocked by an invisible wall, there is a method to bypass it. Double jump up this tree, turn around, double jump again, and cast Fell Rush. The path forward is blocked by Agamath, the first gate. These gates are leftovers of the original system by which players would unlock the last 3 bosses of the Sunwell. I'll show you now how to bypass this gate, explore the area beyond it, and get into the Sunwell. Double jump onto this barrier and follow it to the 3rd tree. Jump onto the tree, and then onto the construction scaffold beyond it. From here, you can either jump down and explore the Twin Eridar room, or continue upwards and explore the Sunwell. Continuing upwards, double jump onto the raised stonework, and then use double jump and Vengeful Retreat to flip backwards onto the next level of the building. Then climb the scaffolding to the roof, turn around, double jump, and Fell Rush onto the highest level of the scaffold. Wait a few seconds for both charges of Fell Rush to recharge, and then double jump and charge forward twice. Climb to the very tip of a raised board, and then double jump and Vengeful Retreat to flip backwards onto the next level of scaffolding. Now double jump and Fell Rush to propel yourself up the roof of the building. Your camera may be shifted into a purple void, but this has no impact on your character and you can continue to climb the tower safely. Once on this scaffold, you're high enough to bypass the invisible walls preventing you from entering the center chamber of the Sunwell. Simply double jump and Fell Rush forward and you'll glide down into the chamber. Despite not being visible from anywhere in the Magisters Terrace, Anvina and the 3 Eridar summoning Kil'jaeden are all present inside the Sunwell. Like the demons outside, the Eridar are untargetable and cannot be attacked or killed. Additionally, the Fell Reavers who patrol the hallway are also present. The Magisters Terrace is a spectacular example of a dungeon that takes up more space than it appears to, so it's only fitting that it has not only an island inside it, but an entire raid. So whether you're an avid explorer, or you're just tired of farming for a swift white hawkstrider, the Magisters Terrace is well worth a visit. And as always, thanks for watching.